Hollywood has long run on cocktails and charisma. The elixir that fuels Tinseltown has turned the soundstage into an infamous night spot with a casting couch. The theatrics that play out once the director yells cut make for some of moviedom's wildest tales. Join us as we uncap tales of tipsy talents who provided some of cinema's most magical moments. Facts First presents She Was Actually Drunk in Her Most Iconic Scene. The Hellraising Legends. Some of classic Hollywood's most revered talents were also its most notorious drinkers, whose larger-than-life antics and escapades have become the stuff of Tinseltown legend. Take John Barrymore, member of the eminent acting dynasty yet infamous as the Great Profile for his hammy performances both on and off screen. While capable of mesmerizing dramatics, his dependency on alcohol caused costly delays thanks to his drunken lateness and tendency to forget lines. Studios would endure reshoot after reshoot to capture usable footage around his inebriation. Equally legendary was Errol Flynn, whose capacity for drinking matched his capacity for womanizing. The swashbuckler would famously invade Hollywood parties without invitation, pint in hand, his drunken behavior abetted by star-struck hosts. During filming of The Adventures of Robin Hood, his nighttime revelries resulted in costly production delays thanks to his struggle to mount a horse while hungover. W.C. Fields was also notorious, from never being far from a hip flask, whether to calm nerves or enliven the workday. Tales of his on-set hijinks are numerous, from spiking baby co-stars' drinks to reporting to the wrong set entirely while blitzed. During shoots for Tilly and Gus, Fields allegedly seduced an actress set to play his romantic interest, resulting in a jealous rage from his mistress, Carlotta Monti. She stormed the set in a drunken fury, physically attacking her rival and generating studio headlines for weeks. Two fragile icons. Behind the glamorous images of many beloved actresses lay private sorrow and substance abuse. Stars like Judy Garland lit up the screen even as they struggled with addiction and inner turmoil in their off-camera lives. Despite ascension to stardom with The Wizard of Oz, Garland's early exposure to Hollywood's high-pressure studio system left scars. She coped through pills and liquor from her teenage years onward. While work was her solace, she'd also show up drunk or unreliable on set, MGM Studios going so far as to assign handlers to supervise her. Stories of hastily rewritten scenes to accommodate her moods and mistakes are well documented. Similar demons plagued Marilyn Monroe, whose radiant facade crumbled behind closed doors into chaos. She also used substances to cope with personal troubles and performance anxiety. The star's lateness, stemming either from mood disorders or hangovers, was legendary and costly. Directors like Billy Wilder put up with her volatility for the sake of her on-screen magic, at great expense and stress during shoots like Some Like It Hot. The Unmanageable Talents. While heavy drinking has sunk many careers, some prodigious talents remained in demand despite self-destructive tendencies, at least for a while. Richard Burton delivered performances of such caliber that his habitual drunkenness was endured into the 1970s. But by 1974's The Klansman, he was reportedly so drunk he could barely stand, much less act. Production staff propped up the slurring Burton as best they could, a zombie drifting through scenes with no recollection after. Likewise, Oliver Reed, while infamous for lewd bar antics, still garnered roles thanks to his intensity on screen. But that intensity also exploded in the form of alcohol-fueled meltdowns directors scrambled to endure. On-set rampages and violent outbursts were part and parcel of Reed's presence. Glenda Jackson remarked after working with him, quote, "Acting with Oliver is like trying to narrate while catching rainbow trout in a fast-flowing river." Drinking for authenticity. Some actors went beyond finding liquid courage to channel their drunk characters. They became method drinkers, embracing altered states in the name of performance authenticity. Billy Bob Thornton fully embodied Bad Santa's alcoholic mall crook, insisting that to play sort of drunk was inadequate. He'd down glasses of wine, vodka cranberry cocktails, and beers before takes to fully inhabit his character's stupefaction. Likewise, notorious method actor Daniel Day-Lewis remained intoxicated constantly as abusive bootlegger Bill the Butcher in Gangs of New York. much to the distress of production and co-stars, but his volatile, sneering performance was indeed that of a dangerously drunk urban warlord. Even clean-cut Tom Hanks knocked back shots playing a blackout drunk scene in Saving Mr. Banks, feeling it integral to channeling the inner darkness of Walt Disney during story meetings. Liquid courage. Alcohol has also been used to take the edge off shooting intimate scenes. Young actresses like Shannon Elizabeth in American Pie famously turned to liquor when their timidity threatened to undermine movie moments. Margot Robbie did 3 tequila shots before her nude scene with Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street, quelling anxieties over her first screen kiss with a married co-star. And for threesome's big love triangle moment, Lara Flynn Boyle, Stephen Baldwin, and Josh Charles all took shots of tequila beforehand, quote, for fortification. In the film Wild Things, Denise Richards, Neve Campbell, and Matt Dillon reportedly did likewise, enjoying enough liquid relaxation that director John McNaughton had to whisper last-minute reminders of where to stand and what to do. Method mayhem. While a few actors managed to harness drunkenness in service of their performances, others' devotion to method acting wreaked on-set havoc. Robert Shaw took his Jaws role as a grizzled shark hunter to the extreme, according to co-star Richard Dreyfuss. At lunch breaks, the men would trade shots of vodka while comparing real-life scar stories. But soon Shaw was too inebriated to film the famous Indianapolis speech. Spielberg reshot the scene on the dock the next day, Shaw nursing a fierce hangover. Klaus Kinski likewise terrified the cast and crew in a tequila-fueled fury as the megalomaniacal director in My Best Fiend, ranting about murder and mayhem in stupors that rendered communication impossible. His antics held production hostage for days. Even the film's director, Werner Herzog, could not control his friend once Kinski crossed over into drunken insanity. And Bruce Willis downed continuous glasses of vodka while shooting the psychological thriller Death Becomes Her. His slurred speech and staggering gait fit his disoriented, murdered character. But his bizarre, unpredictable behavior between takes unsettled the cast. Meryl Streep recalled Willis provoking serious set damage, declaring, quote, "That's the last time I ever make a movie with a drinker or smoker." Disappearing acts. Other stars simply vanished mid-production on benders that derailed shooting schedules. Richard Harris disappeared for multiple days to embark on a legendary binge en route to film Ted Kocheff's Wake in Fright. The director dispatched a search party to scour the outback, eventually locating Harris in a hotel room strewn with whiskey bottles. Peter O'Toole was also prone to vanishing without notice, flying to exotic locations to continue party marathons no film commitment could interrupt. Most famously, he took an unexpected multi-day hiatus during filming of Lawrence of Arabia to travel to France for a magnificent bender. Now it's time to hear from you. Which of these stories was the most surprising to hear about? Let us know in the comment section below.